Hi, everybody. George Harrison would have been 83 years old today, and for his birthday, I thought I would once again rank his albums, solo albums, that is. And I've done this before, but I think this time there may be a couple of changes, I think, here and there. Not sure. I haven't consulted my last ranking that I did for him. I'm ranking 10 albums here, meaning I'm not doing any live albums, I'm not doing the Traveling Wilburys, and I'm also not doing Wonderwall or Electronic Sounds, which would be at the bottom if I were to do that anyway. So here's 10 proper studio albums by George. I really wish we would have had more. I think George had a time to do that. He had the opportunity, in the '90s. He really kind of stopped. He did a Traveling Wilburys albums, and he did one in 1990. He did the first one in 1988. But from like the '90s on, other than Live in Japan, he really didn't do anything with new solo material until after he passed, when his Brainwashed album was released. So anyway, let's do it. Okay, starting at lowest. So this is like from least to most favorite for me personally. Okay, number 10, I decided this year to go with Gone Troppo, George's 1982 album. Over the years, Gone Troppo has gotten a lot more respect. I did a show recently where I actually gave it another listen, and I liked it better than I had up to this point back then. But I still think that now, weighing it all, there's something about that album that, even though it's got some winners on there that I enjoy, most notably That's the Way It Goes and Dream Away are probably my two favorite songs on there. I think overall it's kind of a dull affair, so Gone Troppo is number 10. Then we have for number 9 the 1975 album Extra Texture. Some of you maybe thought that maybe I put it at number 1 this time. I think I used to have it dead last, but not this time. Extra Texture, the problem with it to me is that it is a monotonous, dirgy kind of album. I love the first 3 songs. Let's put it this way: I like, not love, the opening track "You." But although it's kind of interesting and it moves along nice, and it's got some nice horns in there, but anyway, it doesn't say anything really. It's really terrible as far as lyrics go. So, but it's a jaunty little number. So I like You, and then I like the song Answers at the End quite a bit. That's a good one. And my favorite track on there is one of my favorite George Harrison songs of all. This Guitar Can't Keep From Crying. But after those first 3 songs, and thank goodness those 3 songs are first, one, two, three, so I don't have to endure the rest. I can just put my disc on, listen to it, and take it off. And I've tried listening to this album a number of times. It dull as dishwater. I mean, I don't even know that one song. I don't even know what he's saying in that part. And then you got Can't Stop Thinking About, Can't Stop Thinking About, Can't Stop Thinking About You. His voice is not good on this. Okay, then at number 8, I have an underrated album. I think this is kind of underrated. It's 1981's Somewhere in England. I like the album better than Extra Texture and Gone Troppo. Don't think it's anywhere near his best, obviously. Um, George in the early and mid '80s was kind of floundering around, but I like Somewhere in England better than most people do. So that's number 8. Then number 7, I'm going with Dark Horse, which I think that went up maybe a few notches for me. George's voice is not well recorded. He was in a bad vocal form when he recorded this. He wanted to rush it out. He didn't want to wait, and he was trying to do his tour. So Dark Horse, or Dark Horse, Horse, as it's sometimes known, number 7 for me. Number 6, although I keep thinking this should be higher. Number 6, I'm going to go with his posthumous album after his death. I think that would make it 2002. Brainwashed. Really good album. Sometimes I think it's a little bit long. This album, Brainwashed, often gets, I don't know, overlooked for some reason. Maybe because it came out after George passed, but it's not usually remembered that quickly. Brainwash at number 6, which leads me to the top 5. And if I do say so myself, although everybody has their own opinion and they're entitled to them, I will say I think it's hard to quibble with the top 5 here. I mean, the 5 albums I have in the top 5, I think are obviously, for most people, George's best 5. The question is, what order would you put them in? So, for number 5, I have the 1976 album 33 and a Third, George Back to Form. I love Crackerbox Palace. It was a good little commercial single. I don't love this song as much as a lot of people do, but you have that. And most of the album I like. A Beautiful Girl, Woman Don't You Cry for Me, Dear One. I don't like Pure Smoky. I haven't really done a proper rating of this album. I could do a video on that eventually. Yeah, I like See Yourself. So anyway, there you go. That was number 5. Now at number 4, and this was tough because this year, number 4 and number 3, I wanted to reverse them. I have trouble deciding which one should be 4 and which one should be 3. But I've got number 4 this time at, let's see, I'm going to go with Living in the Material World at number 4 this year. And that's an album that usually is number 3 for me, so I kind of switched them around this time. Living in the Material World, kind of like a follow-up sort of to All Things Must Pass, but kind of its lesser companion. But it's very spiritual. It helps to believe in God. It helps to, that makes it an easier listening experience, lyrically at least. But it's a fine album. One of his best, Living in the Material World at number 4. At number 3, I went with the 1979 self-titled album, George Harrison. I think this album, perhaps more than any other, arguably is becoming more and more appreciated. It's rising to the top a lot more. A lot more people are discovering the George Harrison self-titled album. A mellow album, sure, but I love the single Blow Away, which should have been a bigger hit on the charts. I think it was a fine single in 79. And I like everything. I like Not Guilty on here. I'm trying to remember all the songs. Soft Hearted Hannah. I like If You Believe, Soft Touch. Mellow album, but still good songs on here. Love Comes to Everyone, the opening track, beautiful. On and on. It's a good album. Pretty consistent. Number 2, it's always number 2 for me, George's comeback album. And I'm going to call it a comeback album because from like 1980 to like 87, he was like just not really getting anywhere. And he was involved with Handmade Films and Madonna and Sean Penn and all that. And he comes out with Cloud 9 in 1987. It is a great album, still a great album. A lot of people don't like Jeff Lynne's production. For some reason, people are starting to knock the album cover. My nephew teased me one time. For a joke, he wanted me to pose in a record store. We were together, and he had me pose with this album cover, and he thought it was hilarious for some reason. I don't know what it is about it. Dorky, maybe? I don't know. What it is, the shirt? I don't know. I think it's a great album. A lot of people are coming down these days hard on Jeff Lynne's production. I always like Jeff Lynne's production. I think it's great here. Finally, of course, it's never going to change. It's never going to change, I don't think. All Things Must Pass, George's masterpiece, where he had all these songs left over from the Beatles days and made a wonderful classic album. All Things Must Pass, number 1. I mean, what can you say? And that's it for this year, 2026, February 25th. Happy birthday, George.